yes, there is a direct line to the credit bureaus where you can pay to get the information that you need to get an increase in your credit score. Now, before we talk about how it works, okay, this direct line, I mean, I know I'm going to get this question if this is something that you can do on your own. And the answer is no. The only people that have access to this is loan officers, loan originators, independent loan officers that assist people with getting mortgages. So if you want to get access to this, you're going to have to apply for a mortgage. And through that application, the loan officer can pull your credit report and they can get access to this direct line to the credit bureaus to help you figure out how you can increase your score. Okay, so I just wanted to just get that out of the way because I know a lot of people are going to ask me about that. And the answer is no. If you could do this yourself, then there would be no credit repair companies out here. Okay, people would just be doing this. Now let's talk about how this works. So in order to get people more qualified for a mortgage, sometimes loan officers have to go into a phase where it's called rapid rescoring. And I'm not sure if every loan officer has access to this. I've only heard of this one loan officer actually using this program. So I want to say it's between $250 and $500. And they can essentially pay the credit bureaus and say, okay, how can I take this person's credit score, for example, from a 650 to a 700? And the credit bureaus will then respond with a list of recommendations. So I'll put one recommendation up on the screen for you. And this is for one of my clients. And of course, I blocked out some of the information. It will have the account number. It'll have their current credit score and the new credit score after you do this list of recommendations. So this particular recommendation, okay, it says check today's actual balance to determine the payment amount. Do not use the balance in the credit report as the balance may be outdated. Okay, the next thing says request a letter from the creditor that shows the account balance is $47. And then the last thing that it says is do not pay the balance down to zero. That may cause a lower score. And as you can see at the top, the balance is $207 and they're saying pay it down to $47 to get the score increase that the lender is looking for the client to get them better qualified for a mortgage. Now, several things here. Like I've said in the past, okay, when it comes to financing, whether it's credit cards, whether it's for a mortgage loan, pay your credit cards down. Now, as you can see here, this thing says do not pay your balance to zero. In some cases, paying your balance to zero can drop your score because you have to remember credit scores are an algorithm. If the algorithm knows that your credit cards are always maxed out and you pay your credit card to zero, that's irregular. So what is it going to do? It's going to drop your score. Okay. So in the case of this, right, this person's credit limit is $500. They're carrying a $207 balance. So with that being said, that's like 40%. Okay, that's a 45% credit utilization. So that's the reason why it dropped. Their score has dropped. Now they're saying $47 because that's a lot closer to, below 10% or closer to, 4 or 5% of the credit limit. For people that I know a lot of people are going to reach out to loan officers and try and do this. Let me tell you what it's not going to do. They're not going to respond back and tell you dispute these inquiries. They're not going to respond back and tell you, get this old account or this negative account removed. Okay, these are the credit bureaus. They're not going to say any of that stuff. Okay, they're going to give you practical advice on raising your credit score. Okay, so that you can do something called a rapid rescore. Now, I've been saying this for a long time. You do not need a credit bureau to tell you how to increase your score in certain instances. For example, the majority of people that comment in these videos and they ask me, hey, how can I increase my score? When I ask them, are your credit cards maxed out? The answer is always yes. If your credit cards are maxed out, there is nothing you can do to increase your score but pay your credit cards down. You know, everybody wants to max out their credit cards and then figure out a way to get more credit cards or figure out a way to get a credit score increase without paying their credit cards down. And, you know, I see people that go through this cycle over and over. They'll max out their credit cards, hire a credit repair organization to dispute the credit cards, and then they'll try and go get more credit and do this thing all over again. OK, that will not get you anywhere in the lane of significant credit. OK, like, for example, like I just showed in the community section, you know, I pretty much can apply for a credit card at any organization. OK, I have like 25 inquiries and I get approved because I have a very lengthy credit history and I have over 6 figures in available credit. Okay, how do I get access to all of this stuff? Because I understand the credit algorithm and I pay my credit cards down. While everybody else is running around here with maxed out credit cards, trying to get more credit, you're missing the point of paying your credit cards down. If your credit cards are maxed out, pay them down. If your credit cards are at 50% utilization, pay them down. That is too high. If your credit cards are at 30% utilization, that is too high. Okay, you need to be below 10. Between 1 and 4% is ideal, but anything above 10% is way too high, and it will weigh your credit score down. Now, you can use this tactic to get practical advice directly from the credit bureau, and yes, it will cost you. However, for anybody that is trying to get this advice, save your money. Go and look at your credit card utilization. If your utilization is high, do not waste your money doing this, because the answer that you're looking for is in paying off your credit cards. It's that simple. There is no real shortcut. They aren't going to tell you to do something that you don't already know. I'm going to tell you this now. Okay, this is something that some lenders use to figure out exactly what needs to be paid down. You know, it may be, hey, you know, refinance this auto loan, or it may be, you know, pay this credit card down to this, or it may be, you know, pay off this personal loan or something like that. Okay, you're not going to get a shortcut from the credit bureaus that say, dispute all of these inquiries or get this account removed or, you know, nothing, you know, illegal. Okay, they're not going to tell you that. If you have a low credit score, start with your credit card utilization. That is, it's that simple. I've seen so many people when it comes to wanting to buy a home where they have to pay a higher interest rate or they get denied for a mortgage, all because they have maxed out credit cards. Okay, if you want more credit cards, if you want to get, you know, home loans, if you want to get car loans, start with your credit card utilization. Pay it down. Maxed out credit cards and on-time credit card payments is a very large portion of your credit score. If you have those two things on lock, it will shoot your credit score through the roof. One other thing, I see a lot of people that are trying to buy homes that have very low credit scores, is they don't have enough credit. Credit is a game that you have to play. The reason why I'm able to get into any credit product that I want, the reason why I have a high credit score or get high credit limits, is because I have a bunch of credit. If you have, you know, in the case of this guy, he has only one credit card. So it's pulling his score down because he doesn't have enough credit cards. He doesn't have enough paid off auto loans. He doesn't have enough paid off personal loans. You have to play the credit game in order to get more credit. Okay, the more credit you have and the longer you've been in the game, the higher your score will be, the more you can get access to products. The game is very simple. The rules are very simple. Now play.